Technology is such a big part of our lives these days. You know, effectively, we carry a computer around in our back pocket.
Yeah, and also maybe a laptop as well in your
right.
bag or your backpack. And as kids are getting ready for school these days, you've got to make sure you remember all those things. And then they've got the computers at work, at school, haven't they?
Well, a lot of schools have those bring your own device programs as well. And children are online now more than ever before. So today is International Internet Safety Day. And one Brisbane teacher in her school have developed a program to address some of the major issues that youngsters can face online. They're effectively terming it a digital access pass. Miriam Scott is the head of digital education at Hillbrook Anglican School. Miriam, I hope your phone's on silent this morning.
Oh, it definitely is. Thank you for having me.
But your school has taken the approach of no phones in classrooms anyway, haven't they?
We have. So 12 months ago, we actually brought into place the restrictions of the phones. So students aren't able to use their phones from the start of the school day to the end of the school day. And that's been working really, really well.
Yeah, how did that go when you first announced that to them?
Oh, look, nobody likes change. But you know what? It actually went a lot smoother than what we were thinking. And there were there was a little bit of pushback from the students at the beginning. But if you walk into the school today, you would just think it was par to par, like it's a natural progression. But what we were finding was that the devices were just one part of a bigger issue. It was more about the lack of education with the students around their online environments and the way that they were interacting with these devices that was playing a serious part in the reason we've developed this digital access pass.
Yeah, so what does that mean, a digital access pass? That almost sounds like you need to be licensed before you log on.
It's not quite like a license. However, it is it's a way of building responsible digital citizens in today's world. So just like technology has been evolving in the last few years, the way that students are interacting with those devices has also been changing, and the way that they're interacting with each other has been evolving. And what was missing was, and students were using it in a different way, both in school and outside of the classroom. And so we decided that, the best place to actually teach these lessons to the students was actually inside the school.
So what way, how would they use them, for example? How differently?
So we were finding, just like schools across Australia and across the world, students were coming to school tired for a lot of different reasons, whether it was from being up late all night gaming, or whether it was them texting at night as well.
Not necessarily doing their homework on them.
No. Or in some cases, yes. But even that in itself isn't necessarily a good balance and use of screen time. So a big problem was our devices that are inside the bedrooms overnight. So bit of advice I give to parents on a regular basis is to remove the devices from the bedrooms. That's phones, laptops, iPads. That's one really big important key.
That's hard to police, I reckon, at home sometimes for parents.
Oh, look, tell me about it. I actually have an 11-year-old son, and he's gone into Year 7 this year, and he's received his first mobile phone, his first laptop, and even with all the knowledge that I know, I'm struggling, and it's that constant reinforcement. But one thing that I really encourage parents to do is to really get involved with the education of these topics with their kids. And again, it's constantly evolving. So what we knew a couple of years ago has changed to the lessons that they need to know today.
Miriam Scott is with you on ABC Radio Brisbane. She's the head of digital education at Hillbrook Anglican School. The Cyberbullying Task Force, which was set up around about 12 months ago, found that something like 25% of kids are being bullied online. And that just astounds me, because this is something that can happen out of the view of parents, of teachers, of anyone else. Is this all about trying to teach kids better online etiquette and about what that bullying can do to each other?
Yes. And in fact, we actually were privileged enough to have an interview with Madonna King, the head of the Cyberbullying Task Force, as part of the Digital Access Pass. And there's an interview in our cyberbullying course with Madonna. And she outlines some really important things that she found through her work there and through the books that she's written. And that's just one part of it, though. So one thing that students know, and yes, cyberbullying is happening all around us. It happens to adults as well as students.
Yeah.
but students don't necessarily recognise what they're doing is cyberbullying, and they don't recognise what people are doing to them is cyberbullying, and the fact that they're not alone. So one of the things our courses try to teach students is that the different masks behind cyberbullying. So there are different motivations behind behaviour, and being able to recognise that before you react is a really important lesson.
It certainly is. So this has been developed within the school, but available more broadly than that. This is for the general public to take advantage of?
So we are firm believers on students can't do it alone. It is very much a student-driven program, so it's been developed by the students and teachers at our school, but we also do want the parents to join in on that journey with us. So we have opened up some of the courses to guest access for the parents to be able to work through with their children. And so that is actually available to the public if you wanted to visit that through our website.
That's a great idea, isn't it? To the parents to sit down with their children and say, okay, let's go through this so they can both understand what's going on, and in particular kids, because they need technology at school. It's the future for them, but they need to know how to use it properly.
And it's not going anywhere. So students aren't going to be able to exit school today without forming some sort of digital reputation, but it's about developing the positive digital footprint. And students know the big issues. So they know that they're not meant to cyberbully. They know they're not meant to use their phones all the time. They know they're meant to have a strong password. They know they're meant to read the terms of service. But what was missing is they don't necessarily know the why, and in some cases the how. And so this educative approach is more about getting students to take responsibility of their own learning. And we have a bit of a carrot that we dangle with the students, and that's access to their devices and their online environment. The more education they do through the program, the more access they're able to get.
Oh, yeah, because you always need a carrot, that is for sure. Miriam, thanks for joining us this morning.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Miriam Scott, the Head of Digital Education at Hillbrook Anglican College. Check out the school's website for more details about this Digital Access Pass, which they're launching today.